Today, we're talking about the high maintenance codes. What are the high maintenance codes? The high maintenance codes are the codes that you need in order to unlock a better life for yourself. During my extensive obsession with figuring out how to enter into the reality that I dreamt of, which was a reality of like effortlessness, things that just like I was just behaving like my normal self and things were just falling in my lap and like opportunities were falling in my lap, and it wasn't like this masculine uphill battle, and it wasn't always like this mediocrity of like I'm trying so hard and my results are just kind of okay. No, I wanted results that were like extraordinary. I wanted things to just kind of come to me. I just wanted like the perfect situation, the perfect life, and like things just to be like a fairy tale for me. And I just didn't really see a reason why that wasn't possible, because I see it's possible. I know it's possible. Obviously, I'm not talking about everything being perfect. I'm talking about everything being like, yes, I have arrived. I have arrived. I am here. I have a voice. I express myself. I trust myself. I assert my boundaries. I exhibit self-love. All of these things that I really freaking struggled with back in the day. I could have done so much more, so much quicker had I had this intel back in the day. But back in the day, I didn't know boundaries. I didn't know self-love. I didn't have self-esteem. I didn't have audacity. I did when I was like super young, but then eventually I grew up and I started doubting myself, and I started having these experiences where felt like I was walking on eggshells to like beg the universe to give me what I wanted, and I didn't like these vibes. And I thought that it was like very interesting that like at one point in my life it was very effortless to me, and then another point in my life it was very non-effortless to me. It was very mostly effort, and it was all trauma related. It was all mother frickin' trauma related. It was trauma related because I felt like I had to behave that way in order to get what I wanted, because that's how my childhood was. That's how I felt growing up. Women are always conditioned to ask permission, to stay in their lane, to play small, to not ask for too much, to not inconvenience anyone, to like fuck all of that shit. Fuck all of that shit. I was so fascinated because I obviously knew my thoughts created my reality. So therefore, if my thoughts are creating my reality, what do I need to think like in order to get a better existence, in order to achieve a better life? And so ultimately, that's when I came up with the high maintenance codes. The high maintenance codes boil down to a few different things. It boils down to having extremely strong boundaries in all aspects of life. This is something I'm currently implementing in my business. So this is something I'm currently living through and implementing. Like I have really strong boundaries emotionally with like, especially in relationships with men, but my boundaries get more porous when it comes to business. And so I am implementing extremely strong boundaries in my business. And this is a very interesting thing for me to be going through, but it's really implementing boundaries in all aspects of your life. And what that looks like is, I need this thing, therefore if I need it, it's non-negotiable, and also I'm only willing to do this much for it. That's what a boundary looks like. It's not like I want this thing and I'm going to do anything for it. No. Notice where it's authentic to you and where you are stretching yourself and killing yourself for that thing. Because if it's any ounce of schlepping around, which means like exerting yourself in too much of a masculine way, it's gonna be something where if you don't like the journey, you're not gonna like the destination. That vibe. So we have to stop tolerating shit. We have to stop tolerating shit. Tolerance is necessary, but only to a fucking percentage, not 95%. We would rather just sit there and tolerate it rather than put ourselves out there and communicate what we don't want and ask for what we need and tell people how we feel and what we think and ask them to adjust their behavior when it's necessary to our needs, to meet our needs. This is not an audacious thing. This is a thing that men do all the motherfucking time. Women do not. Women would just rather take it and take it and take it and tolerate it. And it's like, then we turn around and we're like, why are we living this mediocre existence? This is why. Because we just keep freaking tolerating. The high maintenance codes are about getting what you want and being that spoiled girl. The high maintenance codes are all about being whoever the hell your gut and your soul tells you to be. and following that and embracing that and overcoming your fears and learning what that is for you, learning what that means for you, learning what these boundaries are. Like for me, like I said, understanding what boundaries are was the first step. Understanding what I need was the second step. And then applying that to every area of my life is the third step. It's like, okay, I didn't even know when I started this process, I didn't even know what a need was. I didn't even know I was allowed to have needs. I never knew what a need was. I was like, I don't know. I need nothing. Like I will have to survive no matter what. It's like that mentality of, I have to tolerate whatever's given to me because I don't have an option. That's the vibe that needs to fucking go. That vibe is not useful, it's not serving us, and we actually don't have to tolerate it. Do you know how I know? Because I see how other people live. I have friends that don't live this way, that when I was around them, I would be like, girl, you are crazy, you are audacious, why are you being so picky about these little things, or why are you being so like this way about a certain way? And then I grew to realize you're like that because you have rock hard boundaries and you do not settle, and that's actually admirable. And then watching like how my friends' lives unroll for them, and like knowing that the thought patterns that they lived by, like how they manifested, it was fascinating to me. Like one of my good friends back in the day, she was famous. Average American man or woman would say this girl was stuck up or full of herself, or just like thought she was the shit and like blah, 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 and like was too demanding and too like selfish and too like whatever the hell. But this girl actually like had the most strong, rock hard boundaries and self-respect and self-esteem that you have ever experienced. That's what she had, and the way her life manifested, because I've known her since we were both like 19 or 20, and now obviously like I'm 36, so it's been a long time and we're still friends, and I'm like, holy shit, to watch how your life has unfolded and to see like how you think and how that's played out for you was the most fascinating thing to me. And that was like, this is something that I need to implement into my life, because even though I used to be the typical American white girl, like I would appreciate certain things about her, but I thought like, oh, you're just too much, girl. You're too picky, you're too this, you're too that. But it was like, no, she just has solid boundaries and does not freaking settle on anything. And I just want to blow your mind open with this new way of thinking, with what's possible for you. Because ultimately what it comes down to is like, you want to achieve what you want to achieve, right? You want to get what you want to get. Having a clear vision of what it feels like to feel what you need, and having the strength to actually exert your needs and prioritize your needs and ask for what you need, you will be exposed to the way that you need to think in order to up-level your life. There is something inside of me that absolutely prevents me from having any regret in my life. So it's not that I don't have regrets, because I've experienced regret and I understand that, like, in perspective. Now I'm glad I understand what regret is so that I can prevent it in the future. And the way that you prevent it is by not making yourself small, not playing by someone else's rules, not asking permission, not doubting yourself, not constantly tolerating shit from other people, not constantly procrastinating your desires and needs, or devaluing your own gut instinct or your own needs. We have this tendency in society to feel like, well, if it's not a need, then it's selfish or wasteful or useless or like not necessary. What that means is, like, if you always feel like, you know, you meet your bare minimum standards, but you can't ever get to the full expression of yourself, Like, do you understand why you always get your bare minimum needs met? Because you are unavailable for not having them met. However, you are available. Everything else is negotiable. All of your desires and your wants and your core of expression, your core of purpose, that's all negotiable, because we have been taught if it is not a survival need, it's not mandatory, and therefore it's a luxury. It's a luxury to be able to live in full freedom and full expression of yourself. Think about what we actually want. Let's take money. What do we actually want money for? Because sometimes we just say we want a certain amount arbitrarily. I want to make this much, without really even knowing what we were going to do with the money, right? And the reason why it's important to define what you're going to do with the money is because that allows you to tap into the full expression of yourself. What we really mother frickin' want is full expression. We want to be able to be fully expressed. Oh my God, my dog's meditating. It's just not normal. This is what he does at this time of day when the sun gets on my balcony. He's very abnormal. When I wanted money for a business, I was able to manifest that money, a significant amount of money. I knew I wanted a certain amount of money for a business. I was able to manifest that easily. Now, it's like my next needs were all more like pleasures or desires or something else, and that made it extra hard to jump to the next level, because it was my association with the fact that I thought that I needed a better reason. You need a better excuse. If you want to be like, if you want extra, you need to do extra. You need an extra reason. You need an extra this or that. Is that landing? Is that making sense for you, what I'm saying here? It's kind of like when our parents would give us a curfew growing up, and then if you wanted to come home late, you had to have a good excuse. It's kind of like that. It's like, okay, fine, you want extra, well, what's your excuse? You want a better car, you want a nicer place, you want like a bigger savings account, you want a bigger bank account, like, but you're fine. All your survival needs are met. Like, you are well taken care of. Why would you think you need anything else? It's about associating what you desire with something that is mandatory. We get what we expect. We get what we energetically demand. It's not about with our voice, it's about with our energy. What are we available for? When you are available for mediocrity, this is what you're going to get. You're basically waiting around for a fluke to happen for you to get lucky and for you to live the existence that you actually want to live in this one time here on earth. This is the issue, is like, do you really want to like spend your life? It's not too late for you if you're not like, even if you're 100, you can change your life. It's not about age, but I want to maximize my life as much as possible, and I'm so over the social fabric that tells us that we need to behave and just only be okay with our survival needs being met, and anything above and beyond that, we are selfish. We are disagreeable, and that's a bad thing. We are all the pejoratives that women are called. I gave an example in my email I sent out today for Club Monday, and it was about like this video popped up on my shorts, my YouTube shorts, and it was Kim Kardashian back in the day for one of the Keeping Up with the Kardashian episodes, where she basically threw a fit because her mom couldn't get her the suite at the Satai. And of course all the comments are like, oh my God, she's so out of touch, she's so spoiled, she's so this, she's so that. No. Number one concern is the fact that like, women are creators, meaning our desires expand the world. If it was up to a man, he would literally live in a cave still. Women are the ones that came in and were like, hey, we need a bigger cave, we need a nicer cave, we need some flower bouquets, we need some plants and some living things around here and around here, and maybe we need to get, you know, a cave with some windows, and maybe we need to do, like, the woman is the one that's always wanting to expand and create, and our desires are like God-given, meaning like this is the universe trying to expand, meaning you shouldn't ever deprioritize these needs. Like for Kim, when she made a big deal about not having a suite at the hotel she wanted, at the nicest hotel, like this is what we should be aspiring to. Like, why are we associating this with like something negative? Not everyone's going to want the same thing, of course, but harnessing that energy of, I know what I want, I know what I deserve, and I prioritize these things, and I'm willing to communicate them and make things awkward. in order to get this done. Because the thing is no one is going to bend over and give it to you. People don't want to do that. You have to actually make things very inconvenient. You can't be afraid to make things inconvenient for people. This is not a bad thing, because at the end of the day, we actually like serving one another as well. We like accommodating and serving one another. So it's not like, it shouldn't be interpreted as a bad thing, but it is. It's interpreted as like, yeah, but can you just settle for something less? That was like the vibe of the comment section. You know, like, oh, Kim's such a diva and this and this and that. And it's like, but look at where she is. Look at how the universe actually took her to where, like, her mentality was. Her mentality was like, no, meet me here. These are my demands. And the universe was like, okay, here you go. It's not a mistake. Like I said, my famous girlfriend, like, she thought like this too. She thought like this too. It was like just such a strong sense of self. Because we're not all supposed to be like billionaires. We're not all supposed to be the same thing. We all just want to be our most self-expressed self. We all just want to be the most expressed version of ourselves. So back to what I was saying about the money situation, it's like money gives us the ability to express ourselves, but it wasn't even until I had money that I figured out what my own style was, or figured out what my own like vibe was, like with my house or with my aesthetic, like clothing wise. I didn't even know myself until I had money. And that we have to now step into the era where we are brave enough to prioritize the things we look at as luxuries. These things we look at as luxuries have to be needs. If the world is going to expand and if the universe is going to expand, we have to look at these things as need. And now that women are more so ruling the world because we have money and we have freedom, we are able to create more of the feminine and bring more of the feminine into the universe, which is the creation. We're able to dedicate more of our resources to creating these things. So one thing I teach is, if you want money, what does the feeling money give you? Like, what is it that you really want? You want the ability to go out and buy the things that you need in order to feel your best self, in order to feel your most expressed self. Like, maybe you need to buy wardrobe that is expensive. Like, maybe you need designer things in order to feel like who you really are at your core. Maybe you need to go get a massage at like the nicest hotel. Maybe you need, like, I don't know, a driver. Maybe you need a chef. Maybe you need these things, right? Like, and what do all these things give you? They give you freedom of expression, ease and peace. They give you peace of mind. What is the feeling? What is the core feeling? Like, a nicer car is going to make me feel more safe. It's going to make me feel cleaner. It's going to make me feel sexier, more professional. It's going to make me feel all these things. We'll just go straight to the feeling. And it's not to say that forget your manifestation. It's just saying that you deserve to be your fullest expansion and fullest expression of yourself without the money. We're done asking permission. We're done asking permission from the money, because the thing is the money exists on that vibration. So if you can tap into that full expression of yourself without the money, then the money eventually just comes in, because it's like you're an open, clear channel. In essence, it's a priority for us to step up, stop settling, stop listening to norms, be confident, be audacious. Like, I was just filming this empties video, and for example, this Cetaphil Sheer Mineral Face Liquid Sunscreen, this is not sheer. I would wager that a woman did not design this or approve this. I would say that a man did, because guess what? Men think they can get motherfucking away with anything, and you actually can get away with a lot more, but women keep themselves in these boxes. And do you know what? Do you know what they say about control and controlling populations? If you can get the population to control itself, that's the best type of control, because it's not a dictatorship where you have to be perceived as the bad guy. Instead, you brainwash the people so that they have themselves in a jail, in their own jail. And that's what we're in right now, and that's what we need to bring attention to. That's what this program seeks to give the platform for. I hope to make this one of like my core teachings. It's something that's like coming through me so strongly right now. It is main character energy, but it's even deeper than that. It's about rewiring these like thought patterns and codes that are so deeply ingrained into us as women, like from genetics, from generations past. Like we need to stop now. We need to break the generational codes and curses by thinking differently. And even if you don't decide to purchase the course, obviously, I hope this video was useful for you, which I think it is because I said a lot of interesting information in here. Are you bold enough to ask for the best in life? Because ultimately you don't want to get too far in your life and oh my God, the sun is coming in and ruining everything. It's okay, I'm almost done with this video, but ultimately I just want to like impart this last bit of information on you is life goes so fast and you don't want to not be able to feel the full expression of yourself. You don't want to feel the watered down version of yourself. You want to be in your power. It's best for the planet. This is not an inconvenience for you to live out your wildest dreams, and it's absolutely possible for you to live out your wildest dreams. Don't forget that. Start being more audacious. It will inspire those around you, okay? Questions, leave them below or email bauerbeautyco@gmail.com. The 222 price is available for at least another week or so, and you can do a payment plan as well. So I hope you join me because this is going to be an amazing, amazing experience, and it is a live course starting next Wednesday, the 12th. I will see you soon. Goodbye. We're going to incorporate EFT tapping into this too, which is something I'm super excited about. EFT tapping is where you tap on the meridians and you can help reprogram your brain this way. This is actually scientifically proven to be the case. That's why I love EFT tapping so much, and it's completely transformed my life in every way, shape, or form.